We have a public hearing tonight pursuant to section 15.2-1427D, 15.2-2006, and 15.2-1800 of the Code of Virginia, 1950 as amended. This is to consider an intent to vacate the right-of-way and disposition of public property with regards to a boundary adjustment survey between Wright Motors, located at 820 South Lexington Avenue, and Dewey's Automotive, LLC, located at 609 West Chestnut Street, Covington, Virginia. Our normal process for a public hearing is I'll ask if anyone would like to speak for or against this proposal. I'll let the fours come to first, then we'll get the against to come up. If you speak, we request that you limit your time to 3 minutes. If you would like to speak for a group, there's 4 or 5 of you, one person can have 6 or everybody can have 3, so whichever way you want to do that. So with that said, I want to call the public hearing to order. Is there anybody here tonight that would like to speak? Well, you want to explain this to us first?
Yes, sir. Please, Mr. Mayor.
I was in a hurry.
I'm anxious for the city manager report, so I know how much y'all like that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before us tonight is the public hearing on the vacation of property identified as South Marion and a 60-foot right-of-way located between Wright Motors and Dewey's Automotive Paint and Body Shop. That piece of property heads from West Chestnut Street, heading towards the food line, the abandoned railroad tracks. This is a piece of property that has been discussed within city government for a few years, and so I felt it was my due diligence to go ahead and get this from under the rock and in front of council and in front of the business folks to discuss and move forward one way or the other on this property. I have spoken both to the owner of Wright Motors. I have spoken to the owners of the paint and body shop, discussed what the intention or what I will be proposing to city council for consideration. It's a piece of property that currently is being used by both businesses, and Alan felt that in respect to the taxpayers of Covington, that with it being used, it should be on taxable real estate, and that's he is before you tonight to discuss that. In your packet, there was a couple pieces of information. I gave you the survey where Beach Street at some point in time was vacated, and then of course you'll note at the bottom of that where South Marion and the apparent 60-foot right-of-way is. Also, you will see another survey that was done some time ago that identifies the South Marion undeveloped. And then you will see the updated survey performed by Vest Surveying back several months ago that shows a rod at the corner of Chestnut going straight down to the railroad adjacent to what is referred to as Wright Motors now. And you will notice there is not a lot of distance from the corner of their building to the actual survey line. I think some other folks maybe have done some things in the past, but that's the actual survey. The proposal for 9,584 square feet would be to vacate towards the Wright Motors business, and the 9,700 square feet vacated to the Automotive Paint and Body Shop. Again, I have spoken to both businesses prior to our agenda 2 months ago, and then leading up to tonight. I will tell you that there is the possibility of expansion by the Wright Motors business that shows interest in the vacation of property. I will also let you know that currently the 60-foot right-of-way is being used by business on site. that has come to my attention. Of course, I've hung around down there. BB and I kid back to when we were kids and going to Farmer's Mac after football practice and getting a Twinkie and a Gatorade. Having a lot of business down in that area with our parks and things of that nature. I have had folks come to me, particularly recently with the younger children at the Covington Middle School with concerns about safety. So I just bring that to your attention. I have not personally seen anything, but I understand a lot of cars coming in and out of there. And then of course the one with the record business that could pose a concern of parents. I'm not down there to pick a child up, so I'm just repeating what basically I have been told. I will also let you know that in speaking with the automotive and paint and body shop folks, we discussed the possibility of coming off of Craig Street and making a right turn into their property, and then when they exit they would come out, cross the median and go out, because I know a lot of their big truck businesses along the interstates. We own our streets in the city of Covington, a city of the second class. We're responsible for streets and street lights and all those things. I have spoken with VDOT. Susan and Alvin have sent me some information regarding the width and the turning radiuses and all those types of things. So I just present to you the concept of the vacation of the property. The collision yard as it is does fit within our zoning. However, we are addressing that in the community that I do believe it would require a fence around the property to basically camouflage the collision vehicles, and we have a couple situations as we speak of now that we're dealing with. So I present that to you, and if you got any questions, I'll be glad to answer before you open the public hearing to the citizens. Okay, thank you.
Now, anyone want to speak for the vacating of the property? Does anybody want to speak against the vacating of the property? Come to the mic, name, address, express your concern.
As you know, I'm Dewey Perkins Jr., one of the owners of Dewey's Automotive. Closing this road would be detrimental to our business there. Now, when we got to bring in tractor trailers, whether it broke down, wrecked, or anything like that, we've got to turn up Chestnut Street, and we have to turn down Marion Street right there. There's no other way into the property there. And the way he's proposing off of Craig Street's not going to work, because that's going to take up over half of our lot. There are 8 lots between Chestnut Street and where the railroad used to be. And if what he says goes through, it's going to landlock 7 of those lots. I would not be able to do anything, would not be able to sell them, would not be able to build on them, because I would need access to all the underground utilities under there, gas, water, sewer, all that. I need access to all that stuff. I'm trying to make everything fit in 3 minutes. I would not be able to do any of the big truck stuff inside the city at all. Everything would have to be go out to the county. And if everything goes out to the county, then all that tax money is going to go out to the county. Because, you know, I've got businesses out in the county. Now, he said that Brandon Wright plans on expanding his business. I find that kind of funny when he's been trying to sell me the business for the past 2 days. And I've got that proof on my phone. It just needs to stay open. I would think that the city should not be biased in one way or another. Why close that road to help one business when it's going to hurt another business a whole lot more? I can't make that turn with a wrecker, truck, and trailer off of Craig Street and turn in front of my business, because it's going to knock down the telephone pole. And then when trucks leave, I try to get them to leave out Marion Street, because they leave out of my lot, they're either blocking traffic or they're almost getting hit by people flying around that turn. So it's going to cause more of a havoc when you close that street down. I really need that street to stay open. If not, I need to at least have a right-of-way through there. He said there's 60 feet there. The 15 feet that the 30 feet that he's talking about on my side is a steep bank. You can't drive on. You can't drive on with a lawnmower or a four-wheeler. So you definitely can't drive a vehicle on it. I gotta have that part of the road to drive those trucks through.
Anything else?
That's
Any
all.
questions?
And just, I didn't notice anybody else standing up for this proposal other than Mr. Dressler.
We gotta go through the process, but I know that. I think, I want to ask you a question about those seven vacant lots.
Yep.
Whereabouts are they, like if I go to the hill and go down over the hill, they're at the foot of that hill, between the bottom of the hill and your property?
You see, you probably remember,
I remember that.
and I know he remembers, there used to be houses all through there.
Right, I remember that.
You know, and over the years, you know, we've been there over 50 years, and we've done a lot of good in the city. And Dad's bought those lots up one by one. And if we ever go to sell the property on the backside, which has almost happened a couple of times, we all have made proposals to us when people wanted to come in and build different buildings there. We will have to have access to those lots. Without Marion Street, it is landlocked completely. And you don't have no access to the utilities under there either.
And you don't have any buildings or anything on those lots?
Not yet, but there are. If I don't sell it, there's actually a plan on me I have a place to put my heavy wreckers. And I want to be able to drive them. When you go in Marion Street, I want a drive-through garage. Garage door on either end. You know, so I can just drive straight through. Because, you know, all those trucks are very expensive, and they stand behind my house in the weather. I need to build a garage to get them out of the weather. That's one of the places I'm thinking about putting them. Is building a garage right there. And that's going to be a pretty good sized garage.
But you wouldn't use Marion Street for that?
I would have to still. Yeah, because that's how I would go in there. You're thinking about going in this parallel with Marion Street. No, you would turn off the end of Marion Street near the railroad tracks and drive in and then drive straight out.
And if you drive straight out, you've got room now to get the trucks out of there, the wreckers and the trucks out of there?
If I drive straight out, I still have to get the trucks that I'm towing out Marion Street. I can't take them out that way.
Right, I understand.
Because, like I said, when you take them out Chestnut Street, real close to Craig Street, people fly around that turn all the time. You know, and if they fly around that turn, they'll go under a truck.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add?
That's all I can think of.
Okay. Lance, did you want to speak?
Um,
You need to come up and give your name and address.
Hello, my name's Lance Perkins, one of the owners of Dewey's Automotive. Pretty much my brother's pretty much said the gist of everything, the main parts and everything. Pretty much, you know, what he was talking about in the school and everything, about the kids getting loaded up and everything. As y'all know, they get loaded up over there on Lexington Street or on the back side. They really don't get loaded up, you know, right there on Durant Road through there, I mean on Craig Street, or Durant. And when we always make the turn to go in there, we're always going slow. There's no way we can go fast anyway. We're hauling a big truck, we're lucky if we're going 3 or 4 miles an hour. So we're always cautious going through there. But like Dewey was saying, we definitely need that road to be able to go around, do it safely for everybody, because there's no other way to do that except for like that. And we're just trying our best just to keep it simple for everybody. Just keep that road that's right there between us and Wright Way, and that's it. And I don't see any problem with that, but that's pretty much all I got to say.
Just curious, if Dewey said that he'd offered to sell it to him in the last couple of days, if y'all bought it, would you want that road abandoned?
Well, truthfully, we would just keep it simple, right?
I would want it left open because of the utilities under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention, you know, when the schools are having big games, the opposing school buses park there too.
Yeah, and we would have no problem with that or anything. Like I said, if we bought that property, we would just keep other than changing that building or whatever, we would just keep the roads and stuff as is, simple.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all
Thank
have any more questions or concerns? Is there anybody else who wants to speak against?
Yeah, I'd speak against it.
All right, gotta come up and give your name.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
Address, name, all that stuff.
All right. 609 West Chestnut Street. I'm James Downing. I also work at Dewey's Automotive. Just to touch on what Dewey was talking about, building on the garage. We also do painting and repair work for the city of their school buses.
Yeah.
So adding on to that garage there would be a big enough place to where we can actually store the school buses inside. We've got a fire truck now that we're having to keep in the county until that building's prepared. So we can also do, you know, the city work for the school buses, painting all their hoods and stuff, and the fire trucks repaired.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Council, you got anything? Anybody else speak again? I'm going to close the public hearing. We will address this next month. We need to have an ordinance written if we're going to abandon it, or we need to say we're not going to do it. But we're not ready for any of that tonight.
I was until that, and I need some more
Okay.
thinking time on that
Okay.
before I jump into anything.
Yeah, I don't do it tonight either.
Okay, well, we'll do it next month. We don't have an ordinance written anyway. We'd have to add it to the agenda and all kinds of stuff.
I would feel better if we waited